second question comes from the same member, but he actually said that a buddy of his was playing this and he found it was really interesting and wanted to share it with the community. Now we're playing against a small blind that 3 bets 5% of the time at the time of the hand and is actually only 3 betting 3% versus the button. His continuation bet on his 3 bet pots is about 100% at the time of the hand. His question is, what are we going to do on all streets? So the button that I'd like to have more information on, but we don't, raises to 2.5 big blinds. And the small blind, who's only 3 betting 5% and 3% versus the button, makes it 9. We opt to cold call here. His first question is, at the time, I think a lot of players wanted just to get the money in here. And it's certainly reasonable because even against a really tight range, we're going to be about 40%. And obviously, if you extend that range quite a bit, then um, you can make it so that even against a reasonably tight range, we're probably going to be ahead. If we include hands like pocket tens and pocket nines, then we're definitely going to be ahead of his get it in range. Although I don't think that's very realistic. So a lot of people were saying that we should get pocket queens in just based on equity um, and his ability to and our ability to not be exploited in that spot. Well, I think that's definitely a little bit narrow-minded. I think that in this spot, if we're dealing with a 3% um, 3 better here, even if he's bored and we add a few more combinations, he's probably not going to be calling off without history, and there's no history listed here. So he's still probably not going to be getting in a hand like Ace Jack over our cold 4 bet, even if he's a little bored. And we know that he's really tight, so I would say his range is something like pocket jacks plus here, potentially pocket tens, but I still don't see pocket tens necessarily stacking off. So I think it's really clear actually that we can call here. And the nice thing that we can do here is against a really straightforward opponent, which this guy certainly sounds like, that on really low boards when he's very aggressive, I actually think that we can get away from this hand, either on the turn in the river, depending on either bet sizing, timing, feel for the hand, things like that, and board texture, obviously. So the next question is, what is his hand? What is his range based on all streets here? So I think pre-flop we can definitely say that his hand probably consists of something like, sorry, I definitely say that his hand pre-flop probably consists of something like, let's get rid of this now. Aces, ace king, all ace, aces, kings, all ace kings, queens, jacks, tens, and beyond that, I can definitely think we can throw in a few broadways. So let's try maybe an ace jack and oops, sorry. As you can see, I'm not necessarily the most experienced with poker tracker. um, so let's get in these hands, ace king. Let's get in a couple ace queens and maybe just like one or two ace jacks, maybe one or two ace queens. Anything else that we want to throw in there? Let's throw in like one combination of suited cards here. I mean, we're still dealing with an overall 5% 3 better and a 3% blind versus button 3 better, which is really really tight. Trying to think anything else that I want to throw in here. Yeah, I guess we can throw in some ace queens too. So we're about 5% here. Now, on this flop, let's look how is this going to adjust. When he checks here, I think most of his range actually we can continue with here. So I'd probably eliminate ace king because just about everyone in this spot is going to be c-betting ace king. So let's keep in maybe two combinations of ace king just for just some random generalization, or maybe he's actually really scared by the cold call. But I think for the most part, ace king is going to be raising. Beyond that, I can definitely see that just about everything else is going to be could be conceived to check. Pocket kings obviously could check because he's worried about the ace. Pocket aces and pocket jacks could obviously check because they have a really big hand and maybe expect us to bet. The ace jacks are going to check. Ace queen still we can imagine that checking. Hands like pocket tens and the 9-8 suited portion of his range is going to be checking in order to give up. So beyond ace king, the rest of his range here can certainly be checking, and it didn't eliminate all that many options.